Amics, companys, avui hem vingut fins al districte de Sarrià-Sant i estem acompanyats de la Nuria Carmona, que estarà presentant aquesta temporada la secció Dansa de l'Olla. I això per què? Doncs perquè el Diego ha hagut de marxar una temporadeta fora de Barcelona. Benvinguda, Núria, com estàs?
Molt bé, molt emocionada perquè avui estem al Centre Cívic Can Castelló, que veurem i coneixerem l'exposició Immersió, que és del Justin Brown.
Can you explain the photos for us?
These images, these are of Japanese Buto artist Gyohei Zaitsu, and these are specifically from a shoot I did on New Year's Eve in Paris in 2015, and I was fortunate enough to have Gyohei specifically on stage by himself and did this fantastic session. We have Mi-hee Lee, who I think is Korean, from South Korea, and these were shot at Oracle's Theatre in Barcelona. This one is Girl with No Name and Girl with red dress. Very simple, stark imagery with simple shadows and lighting situation. Mushimaro Fujieda, who's been a Buto artist for many decades, but specifically these five showed the various movements of him creating silhouette imagery on the wall, and also the skin texture, the rib cage is really distinct in these images. I like that very much. This series is from a shoot of Ainhoa Alberdi. She's from Basque region, and again this is at Oracle's Theatre. Again, very simple lighting, just a single overhead spot, and really able to pick up on the textures of the skin and the bone structure, and as she's emerging from the darkness and moving her body into the light. We have Orlando Verdu, also in Oracle's Theatre. He's a director, he's an actor and a Buto artist. This is Ikaru, we have Pinocchio here as well. We've got a wider selection of images. Françoise Rondeau, she is a French Buto artist. We have Monica Aguiar aquí. She has amazing wide variation of facial expressions, and she had a selection of items hanging around her on rope and string, which she created the story from. And so I was able to move around her as she was developing and processing the story. Alvaro Prats Bertomeu, and this is in convent artist. It's a residential building in, I think it's Bergada, and but the situation was very, very dark. There was no lights, there was only a projection. So when he was moving in front of the projection, I had the opportunity to get some images like this. Kate Joyner is an English actress. This is her performance based upon blood, specifically woman's blood, from the woman's body. And the next one we have here, this is Michaela Kaufman. This is a very raw shoot as she is beginning to explore Persephone. And this is from a cabaret piece. And this is a lot of the time people don't want to see this, they don't expect to see it, they don't want to see it because it makes people feel uncomfortable. But I like that.
Te'n recordes quan va ser la primera fotografia que vas fer amb intenció artística?
They were of a band called Seven Little Sisters, which are English. They were driving from Nottingham, which is in the centre of England, to Austria after a gig which finished at midnight. I wasn't supposed to be going, but I had a couple of beers, so I got on the bus and I went with them. And so my job while I was there was to photograph the band. The photographs weren't very good, but it was fun to do, and I got paid in pizza.
Parla'ns de la teva trajectòria com a fotògraf.
When I was probably maybe 39, I heard a voice, an inner voice. This happens to me occasionally every few years. And this inner voice said, Justin, get a camera. The voice kept saying, get a camera. I was like, okay, give me a break, you know. But then after a few months, I decided to do it. So I went out one day, spontaneously, I bought myself a camera. And I was working a lot with musicians. I'm a musician myself. I decided to set my camera onto manual settings, read the manual itself, keep rereading it. I'd carry it on the train, on the tube. I'd read everything about my camera that I could, you know, to learn as much as possible. And I discovered that shooting in very low light, in venues, in pubs and clubs, and shooting people that are moving vigorously on the stage, unpredictably and erratically, was very, very difficult to get good images. And you really had to max the controls on the camera to get the best results. And even then, it wasn't easy to do. But I enjoyed the challenge.
Què és el que et va decidir fer quedar-te a Barcelona?
Again, it was the time I heard the voice. The voice actually, this time, it said to me, you have to go and live in another country. And I had a friend who I worked with in London, from Barcelona, who returned to live in Barcelona. And I said to myself that as soon as I get a passport, the first person I'm going to see is this person. A good friend of mine, I love him. So I came for a 2-week holiday. And as soon as I arrived, I came out of the metro from the airport at Clot, which is the place we're recording in now. And as soon as I stepped out into the beautiful sunshine, something inside me he said, Justin, this is it. This is the place. We're going to live here. I feel more at home here than I ever did in my whole life in England, in anywhere I lived. But you don't know you're going to feel that until you feel it. And it's a very curious feeling, especially when it's a foreign country with different culture and different language and different ways. So I really enjoy being here. I eventually moved to Barcelona. I had an opportunity to shoot theatre. And my first experience with theatre was a performance called Et vindré a tapar by Espai en Construcció. Wonderful people. They invited me to shoot the rehearsal, and I loved it completely. There was emotion, there was movement, there was a lot of interaction, and it pulled me in. And so from then on, I've specialized in different types of theatre that I've shot, including cabaret, different types of movement art, performance art, and buto, the Japanese form of dance.
Explica'ns el teu mètode de captura d'imatges a l'escenari.
Over time I realized that performers often fall into a kind of meditative or trance-like state when they're performing. They become their characters. It's essential for them to express to the optimum what they want to express, you know, what they're representing in a performance. I'm familiar with this myself, being a musician. When I'm singing, when I'm performing, then I've forgotten who I am. I'm becoming the song, and I'm becoming the voice. These energies are, in a sense, I'm allowing them to control my body. I realize that I need to also to be in this state when I'm photographing the artist. I need to be in the same condition as them, in the ambience of the environment. And it's a spontaneous way of shooting. I don't direct. There is no positioning of bodies. There is very, very little changing in the lighting scenario. The lighting scenario is designed for the production. Over time, I learned how to read and anticipate peak emotional moments and peak movement moments, when the artist is moving with gravity, when they're full of emotion and they're being pulled and drawn and torn in different ways. And I need to just move with that intuitively, anticipate, move, take risks, you know, take shots from elevated places, from the ground, throw myself around and be intimate with them, but give them enough space. And the results that I get, I'm mostly very happy with. The exhibition is until the 29th of January. If you'd like to see me there, then contact me through my website, justinpbrown.com. Thank you very much.